Show one, call me what you want. But you gotta call me champ because before I die, I'm gonna win a competition.
Call me champ.
Gotta call me champ. He was a dick, but he was a champ.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another solo episode of Throwing Tantrums, featuring one of the other members of Temper Tantrum. You know, these solo episodes, the purpose of these is so you guys get to know the dancers beyond the dance and beyond the group ones, which is as fun as they are. You know, it's really just sharing opinions about topics. We don't really get to go in depth with the dancers, which is the purpose of these. So today we got Diego. I'll let him introduce himself in a bit. But first off, if it's your first time hopping onto this podcast, and this might not just be the Throwing Tantrums podcast, you might also be listening to this on the Move, Groove, Grow podcast on my other channel. I am your host, Emeroy Bernardo, founder of a social media company called Vision Paradox, and also the founder of Temper Tantrum Dance Company. That's a little bit about me. Hopefully you guys are getting that. In case it's your first time hopping on, welcome. And if you're a returner, I appreciate you coming back, listening, watching, sending me nudes and all this other great stuff. So, so today we
that kind of podcast.
So this is I would say a PG-13-ish kind of thing. Occasionally rated R for the amount of cussing I do. So, yeah. So today we got Diego. We're gonna start off with his origin story. Diego, take it away. Tell the crowd a little bit about who you are, dance related stuff. You know, who you're with, how you got into dancing, everything from the beginning.
Oh yikes! Everything. Okay.
When you were born. I'm just kidding.
Okay. I remember it being dark, and then there's a sudden burst of pressure. And then a gaping.
Shut the fuck
up. What's up, y'all? Okay, so, geez, I don't know. I got a big old accolade list like Emeroy, but I'm Diego Tellez. Diego Tellez, boom, Tellez at long 10 and handsome 53. I am founder of It's and Gravy. I'm a member of Temper Tantrum. I've been a member of a bunch of teams around here. Audio Mind, Project Levad. Project Levad's a dope one. Oh man, yeah, I mean, I don't got this big accolade. I've been teaching everyone every here and there, studios, middle schools, mainly with kids. Kids are adorable, and I'm just still learning, still growing. My team's been active for about 3 years, which it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So I'm still growing with them, and I'm still learning. Especially that's why I'm here with Emeroy. You know, because sometimes it's nice just to be a student again. It was so nice
to take note of, like, oh no, I don't do this.
No, dude, it's so nice going into rehearsal and then just being a dancer sometimes. Like, instead of going into rehearsal, I'm like, all right, we gotta get this done, 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 and then you look up and everyone's just messing around or something. But like, with be coming back to Emeroy and like being a dancer, all I have to do is show up and be like, all right, what do I do?
That's how I feel with Liz. Like, it's relaxing. I don't have to lead, and you see me. I fucking goof around. But the thing with me is, like, especially since way back in high school, is like, and my captains were like this. Like, when people would get called out, it's like, he's goofing around, but the captains would be like, but he knows his shit. Like, he doesn't fuck up when he do run throughs.
That's fucking terrible. That's terrible, Emeroy. That's not the example. We're not supposed to be leading that.
I mean,
not the example. It's true, but it's not the way.
So, because especially if you're just sidelined in rehearsal, you're not, cleaning, you're done reviewing, and there's nothing to do. People are gonna get bored, and people are gonna start fucking around.
Oh, listen, you know what? I remember when I was first with Audio Mind. Yeah. And then I became a director of Audio Mind, and I thought for the longest time that it was just my team that was messing around. I thought for the longest time, like, what is up with why is it my team? And we would go to competitions, and I remember going to like Maxed Out, and everybody's like got their shit together. Everyone's together at the team. Everyone's like wearing the same thing as a team, and everybody's like looking like everyone's got it down, But then my team's like messing around. I always thought it was my team. But then I came to work with Liz, and then I realized,
and then you met me.
Okay, it's I feel like it's every team. It's every team. Got it.
Yeah, it's every team. The level of fucking around is different, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the difference. I feel like that's a big difference. I feel like every team messes around, but it's the difference comes with which team is getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So angle your computer a little bit more, your camera, because you're looking a little short. So because there's a lot of head space, it's looking like this.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Right here.
Yeah.
You want me looking tall in real life and on camera?
No, I want us to be the same height for once. Before we get into the dance community stuff, directing, because I feel like there's so much we can talk about that. How did you get into dance? Because before this, we were talking about how you came from football to the Marine Corps and all that stuff. Right. How did you even discover dance, and why start a company or crew? Because that's a lot of responsibility in itself.
Right. Okay. How did I start dance? I guess there's like 3 parts to that, 3 or 4 parts. Obviously, when I was a kid, family parties, even if you don't want to dance, you could be as a kid, you could be running around and you run past the dance floor. And I remember as a kid, you want to try and run outside of the dance floor because if you run inside, your parents might grab you real quick and you don't play anymore. Now you're just dancing. You just gotta go with it for a while. So obviously I had times where my mom would grab me. There's been pictures and I remember, just dancing. So I guess that'd be my first, entrance into dancing. But then in middle school, I remember I used to get picked up by my brothers and they would walk, they would take me home from elementary. But then in middle school, I was given a key, for the first time because just people going to school, different places, my parents working, all that stuff. So I wasn't able to get picked up. Got a key. Whenever I would get home, I would just be on the computer. Boom, be on the computer because once the parents come home, I can't really do what I want on the computer. So I'd look up videos I like, Family Guy, mainly Family Guy stuff. And then a Family Guy clip of Michael Jackson came up and I watched it. And then in the, back they had more videos like this. There it was, Smooth Criminal. And I was like, well, I've heard of Michael Jackson before, never heard his songs. Let's check it out. So I checked it out and then I just fell in love. And then after that day, every time I would come home from school, I would just, for a while, I didn't even know his name. I didn't know how to spell his name. So I would just go to Family Guy, clip a video, because I knew I can go to that video and it would show that video. I didn't even know how to spell his name. That's how new he was to me. But I heard it, fell in love with it. I just would watch videos over and over again, practice all the moves he does in the video. And then after that, I kind of stopped because that's when all those court cases and scandals came out. And if you like to listen to Michael Jackson, then you like touching little kids.
Oh yeah, there's that thing for a while, yeah.
So I kind of kept that super, 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 just never really did anything with it. Yeah. And then boom, fast forward, I'm in North Carolina. I had just finished boot camp and now I'm in MOS training, which is just training me to do my job with the Marines. I'm in North Carolina. Not much to do out there besides do the training, work out, eat. Not a lot of stuff to do out there, especially where we were. And then one day I remember I was on Facebook and I saw a video that my friend posted. And this guy was an old electro dance person I ran into. I got into that, not a lot, but I saw a video he posted on Facebook and it was tie-dyes versus, I forgot who, it was tie-dyes and I think this guy named Grichka versus these other 2 guys. I don't remember their names, but I know the video. And then it was a battle and I was like, what is this? What are they doing? Yo, this is some crazy step up shit. Is this real? Yo, this is dope. And it's tie-dyes, first of all. And tie-dyes blew my mind because he moved he doing some kind of cheat codes. So then from there, I looked up another tie-dyes video versus this person, tie-dyes versus this, tie-dyes versus, I think it's J Boogie, and then J Boogie versus Late Twins, and then Late Twins versus this. And then I just started, that's how it started. I started watching videos. And then when I came home from training, I went to school and I was like, hey, there's these dance classes. So I saw one. First of all, if you guys don't know what modern is, look it up. Because I thought modern dance was modern day moves. I looked it up and it was like modern. That sounds like what I want. That sounds like modern day stuff. Let's go. Boom, I get in. That's not what it was at all. Not what it was at all. But luckily there was two girls there, Skylar with Lisa, and then they advertised the hip hop club. They advertised the hip hop club after school, and then free classes. And I was like, well, let me check it out. I went to go check it out, and now here I am.
Dang.
Whew. Yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah, a little bit, because I don't think even our members don't think they know that you went to the Marine Corps or anything like that, because we see each other as we are today, which is dancers, like hanging out, interviewing Safira the other day. I didn't know, and this is what I like about these interviews too, because I get to discover different parts about you. Like Safira, I didn't know she was a Warriors fan, so you're just in that episode.
So now you got to kick her out now, right?
I'm kicking her off the fucking team, off the team. But we were actually talking about basketball. Like that interview was all over the place in terms of like the juiciness. So make sure you guys listen to that. But when you were in the Marines, did you even like get to try practicing any dance, or did you try doing any moves?
Oh, I mean, like boot camp Marine, or are you talking about like after I saw that video?
Because it sounded like dance was already part of your life. So in boot camp, were you like,
No, I didn't really know. Well, I mean, I wasn't really pursuing it. Like I like to dance and I like Michael Jackson. I like all that stuff, but I had no idea what I was doing. If you asked me to dance, I'd be like, I would do something Michael because that's all I know, right? Yeah. So it's not like I was practicing that. And let me tell you, shit, if I was practicing dance at boot camp, I would have gotten my ass thrashed.
I
would have been pinpointed out. Like we would just woke up in the morning like, so who wants to be dancing around here or some shit? And then like, fuck, that's me. I'm gonna go get fucked right now. But like I said, I didn't find this until like a little bit before I came back. Actually, I remember the only time I ever even did anything was I was watching all these videos, and then one time it was me and like 3 other Marines in their room, and then they were playing like crump music, and I'm like, hey, I know what this is. I know tie-dyes. I know tie-dye, but in reality, I didn't know anything. But like I was just going. I was just like
crump.
I was doing my best. I didn't hold back, But no, I didn't really do anything. I spent a good amount of time when I came back from Cali in the Marines. I was in the reserve program. Mm-hmm. So when This sounds
juicy.
When I was with the Marines, I wasn't always pursuing like to be a dancer. At one point, like I came to a decision where like I want to do this. I like it. I was going to school to become a cop, and then I discovered dance. I'm like, well, this changes everything. It came to the point where like I knew I wanted to do it because I got kicked out of the Marine Corps. I didn't serve my full contract, and one of the reasons was because I was getting discharged because I technically did more absences without leave or whatever, AWOL. I technically went AWOL too many times. I was supposed to show. There's only a number of times you can not show up without reasoning. Mm-hmm. And I guess I passed my number, and let's hope my, for some reason this doesn't bite me in the ass, but like for 2 of those reasons, it was because of performances.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for 2 of those reasons, it's because of performance. So legit, like I pretty much sacrificed, my Marine career to just go perform.
Dang, that is like props in a sense, pursuing, like after, it's kind of a thing, like people are too hesitant. Like when they go down one path, they hesitate to change it once they discover that really resonates with them. So you know what I mean? Like you're going down the path in terms of serving, but then you found something that really spoke to your soul, and it did kind of bite you in the ass. You did get kicked out, but at least you discovered what mattered to you more in a sense.
Oh yeah, and I mean, no, like it's not too bad. It's like the Marine Corps. I tell people tend to ask me like, oh hey, I'm thinking about joining the Marine Corps, and in reality, I tell them like I'm the worst person you want to ask, Like I didn't like the Marine Corps. It was cool. It taught me a lot. It gave me a lot of opportunities, and I did a lot of cool stuff through it. But it just wasn't my thing. So it could be a lot of people's thing. You know, I've seen a good friend. He was in it, and he kept telling us how like he wanted to be in it until he was a gunnery sergeant like his dad. I'm like, that's dope. See, like shit like that. You know, you already came in with a purpose.
Yeah.
I was in it because my ex at the time, you know, she was in college and like I needed to do something. So I just joined the military and bit me in the ass.
What was your first, I guess, LA dance community event? Because people listening aren't necessarily from LA. So when we say community here, folks, we mean the LA dance community, which is, wow, one hell of a scene. So
would you say like an event as in like a competition or like or like a battle or like any kind of like so my first event?
Brandon and I were just actually talking about this because there's the industry events, there's dance competitive community events, and then there's underground events, which is what I consider jams to be, which is very different from like the collegiate scene, which is choreo competitions. So people might define it differently, but that's how I've kind of like labeled it.
Right.
So
oh man,
I guess what was your first event?
I'll go. I mean, I would say it had to be maxed out. Like that was technically my first dance event. Maxed out. It was 2014. Maxed out 2014. Pasadena City College.
Which 2014 was your first one?
Yeah, I believe so. I've been doing this really. Was it 2014 or 2015? I feel like it should be 2014 because this should be my 6th year dancing. So it should be 2014. And it was funny because Pasadena City College is about a good 5 minutes from where I used to go for the Marines. Because there's a small unit by Pasadena High School.
Oh wow! Really?
People don't really, people don't really know that, but I don't know how they don't know that. Like it's a building barricaded. A big old Marine Corps flag and a big old American flag.
I'm like trying to think about it because I drive past it like so many times. And I'm like,
is it Pasadena High School? Is it? And funny enough, Bulldog.
Oh, if you're talking about Pasadena High School, I know where that is. Exactly where that is. Is it next to a park?
Yeah, it's right next to a park.
Yes. Okay. That you're talking about Pasadena High School.
Did I say Pasadena High School? Or did I say another one?
You said PCC, like Pasadena City College, but
okay.
Pasadena High School, yeah, because I've passed by it. I've actually taken Jordan to that park once, and I heard like I saw these official military vehicles, and I heard like people like sounding all super like official. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, dude, it's right there. We use that park several times.
Oh damn, that's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, what was your first like? So that was the first.
That was my first
event like that you had to watch.
Well, that's my first event competing. I competed.
Oh.
Yeah. My team just straight ran us in there, man. It's like, let's go.
That sounds about right. Because I know. Okay, what was the first event that you got to like see, and like, you know?
The first event I actually got to see was probably Urban Street Jam 2016. I would say 2016 because 2016 I did with only with Lavad.
Lavad? Wow.
Yeah, and you know how Liz is. Liz is like if you're on your shit, like we don't. First of all, it was exhibition, right? Yeah. It was like Lavad was exhibition. My other teams I did was competition, and Liz is usually like we're gonna be on our shit the day before, a week before, you know, and you know how her last rehearsal before performance goes. That's how you know that we're ready a week before, right? Mm-hmm. And so we had some of them had gotten a room next to the Anaheim Convention Center next to downtown Disney. And so majority of the time it was just spent like, all right, we're here. We're going to go get our bracelets. Everybody go do whatever it is that you guys want. And we're just going to meet up at this time. And we're going to go on. And we're going to go home. And I'm like, that's it? Really? Because like if you're competing, like you're with your team from the minute you get there, you practice. You get your wristbands, you get your shirt. All right, guys, practice. All right, go get something to eat. Come back at this time, ready and dressed, and we're going to practice more and all that shit, you know? But then with Liz, it's like, all right, guys, go do whatever you guys want. So Urban Street Jam 2016 was probably the first one. And I believe at that same Urban Street Jam is the first time I ever saw who King Charles was. and his footwork like blew my mind. You know, King Charles is something else.
King Charles, yeah. So that was with Liz, right?
That was with Liz. That was LeBon.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that was LeBon.
With competition crews, like when you're there at a competition, you're there all day practicing. And I was like, it made sense for me, like, because I still did it in high school. Competed, like we'd be there hella early, fucking like probably 7 a.m, practicing all day, and then fucking compete and leave, or wait for awards. So that carried on over to the competitive scene in college or the competitive community. But you experience something different when you're in exhibition, and it begs the questions like, why can't we just be this effective, even as a competitive crew? Because here's what I think, and I think I learned this from Floyd Mayweather too. Like, if you're still having to practice the day of, then you're not really ready.
You know what? That's dope. I actually got one from Devious. He was talking to us about like the difference between being worried, nervous, and excited. And in reality, he was talking about how like they're both emotions.
They're both the same energies.
They're both the same energy, right? The only difference is the preparedness level, right? If you're prepared for something, you're gonna be excited. There's been times when I've done performances and I knew I was gonna like, oh, all right, I'm excited. And then I've had performances where it's like, I'm sweating. I'm like, shit, are we going to do this? Is this going to happen? Like, what if this happens? And something, it was because I obviously wasn't ready, but I feel like exhibition and competing would be two different things. Because exhibition is easy. You come in and you're not really being judged. You spend time rehearsing and all that stuff, but in the end, it's completely a lot of fun, right? But then competing, like I've seen people at these competitions, like they're holding hands together and they're just like listen to the results, and as soon as they hear it's not their name, like just boom, just defeat and everything, and their hands are like, and that's the big difference. I feel like some exhibition teams, you can practice for like a couple rehearsals, a couple hours here, and then you're good to go.
You can get on with it. Yeah.
Competition teams, you put in hours and hours and hours and hours in it. So obviously, yes, it is a different, completely different.
It's definitely different in approach. Because I also think, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's sometimes overkill with how some teams do it. I don't know, like one of the teams, a lot of the teams I know used to, like, especially Hell Weeks, they would go from like 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning for a week.
That is insane. That is insane.
Albeit they win, but I as I got older, it's like, it's not just the physical preparedness of doing the routine, it's also the mental preparedness, like self-care, because you're practicing that much, and if you're exhausted, you're more likely to get injured from rehearsals. So it's like, how?
9 to 6 a.m. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, and then that's like 9 hours. Like some people don't even do shifts for 9 hours.
Yeah, like dude, like when I was
crazy.
When I was in high school, rehearsals would be like from 6 a.m. till school started, and then after that 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. Sorry, and then Saturdays would be rehearsals from 8 to 8.
And obviously it shows, and the practice, it shows, but I don't know. I always felt like after at least 4 hours, 5 hours, majority of the stuff is just in one ear and out the other, because everyone's just like tired and fatigued, and they just
diminishing returns.
Yeah, and I feel like after that, whatever you do past the 4 hours, you might definitely have to come back to it the next rehearsal.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that I've noticed with the dance competitive community. And who knows? It helps them win, but at what cost? At the cost of some people like being at the cost of doing well at school or their job or whatever it is. They're in sleep, because I know some people are so exhausted they have a hard time driving home. So it's like so these are things that people need to take. Directors, I think, needed to take into consideration, which is why I'm like so intentional with all our rehearsals, like, which is why sometimes we even finish early. It was like, if I'm done, we're done. Like, I'm not going to force the issue on something I'm not prepared for. Like, for when you started What drove you to go from just a dancer to start your own crew?
This kind of goes back with me being a director in another team, and it just started coming to a point where anytime, well, not anytime and every time, but majority of the times that it came time to do a decision, I always felt like my ideas or what is it that I want to do was kind of a complete opposite of what they want to do, what they want to do with the team, and the styles and how they wanted to do things. And I mean, obviously, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just felt like I had so much to try and bring onto the stage. You know, there's so much I want to do. Like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Like I was super motivated. I was just ready to I have it in my head. All I need to do is just get the bodies and put it down and make it, and then we're good to go, right? So I guess I feel like that would be the biggest one. You know, I felt like just the people that I was with, they had a different image and a different path they wanted to take, and that's cool. I mean, I'm still cool with all of them today. You know, big shout out to them. But I would say this, man, starting a team is not freaking easy. That shit was hard as hell. That shit was so hard. It is still hard to this day. Everybody listening that's been on grids, yo, whoo, man, it is. But I mean, I've had a lot of help, obviously from like you. That's number one right there.
Yeah.
No, making the team's definitely hard. Definitely. So I have a lot of respect for obviously, you know, once again, you, because you made a team and you made a team huge. Like people know FanBiz. You know, I technically knew the team before I knew you, and I didn't even know that you made FanBiz when I met you.
Dude, that was when you say things like that, in my head I'm like, that's so fucking weird, because it's like when I made FanBiz, it's like I went through so many years. Originally, it had a different name when I was starting it before we rebanded, but it was so many years of like, who are you guys? So in my, like, I'm still like blown away when when people say, oh, you founded FanBiz, or like you. I'm like,
hell yeah, man! It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what? I had one instant like that, and I was super happy about it. I was like, what? Did that actually happen? I remember one time, I don't know, I don't even remember where it was, and I was so happy about it, but I forgot it. But I was somewhere, and then someone was like, oh, you're Diego, right? And I'm like, whoa, how do you know me? It's like, you director Goods and Gravy. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is getting weird now. Like, how do you know? And I guess one of their friends followed Grits and Gravy, and they came to a class before, and then they followed Grits and Gravy, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But it was also very creepy in a way that you knew me and you knew that I was a director of a team that not a lot of people even know that
you live on this street, right? Yo, that's good. I'm gonna say, like, you know, it just, you know, with the consistency you get, because you guys, in I think the check-in we said, like, I was like, it takes, the advice I always told myself when I was doing FanBiz was like, first 3 years of any business is always the hardest. So, but that's all. That's to keep it consistent. What I didn't know is like it took about like another 4 years for us to become even close to a name. So, because like the 3 years for me was like who can be consistent, where can we perform? Because when I was younger, there weren't that many dance events. We were doing a lot of parties and all that stuff just for us to be together. We're doing. Have you heard of Sharp International?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did some of those competitions just so we had something to perform for. Because and then after that, it just assembling a solid team to help me run the team helped out a lot. So I'm gonna say, like, if it, you know, as long as you being consistent as you are, I have no doubt you're gonna be a regular name.
Oof. One day. There's an Uber lady that I have to shout out whenever I make it on TV, because she said I was having a terrible day. I didn't get into an audition, and then I told her about what happened. She's like, one day you're gonna make it, baby girl. One day you're gonna make it. I was like, I didn't give you a shout out, but I forgot her name. So it's okay. I was gonna say some shit about starting the team, because this is something that no one taught me this. So if anybody out there is trying to make a team, I'll tell you this right now. nobody is as committed to your image than you. I will tell you that right now. No one is as committed to your image than you. And like that's just straight up. People can say that they're in this and they see it and all that stuff, but in the end, no one is as committed to it as you. Because in reality, like this, at the end of the day, like I make grits and gravy, and if I ever decide to quit, that means I gave up on this, right? No, if I decided to quit on grits and gravy, no one's gonna come in and be like, wait, let me take over, right? Like it's. Yeah, that's true. That's fair to say. But that's different. That's different in the sense where you took them to a certain point where you decided to leave and they were fine, right? But what I'm saying is like if grits and gravy didn't work, and I had nobody else, and then I was like, I'm gonna just stop grits and gravy. No one person's gonna come and be like, wait, let me, because this is my image, this is my dream, right?
Yeah.
And so, as much as I had a lot of people's support, no one's going to put as much work as you are in your image.
Yeah.
And don't hate your friends if they ain't in it 100% like you. I'll tell you that right now. Don't hate your friends for that.
It's true because it's like it's your baby, not theirs. So why should they be committed to a dream that's not their own? Like that's something definitely like I dealt with and I shared with in the first temper tantrum rehearsal. Was that like I even hesitated assembling this whole thing. Excuse me, because I was afraid of flakes. Like the early years of Fanbase, like I would wait 2 hours sometimes and no one would show up. And then that's kind of like the thing I was anticipating when I first invited people. Like I invited a fuck ton of people. I was expecting like 5 to show up. Or even 2, but then I didn't expect everyone to actually show up, or like a good 80% to show up. Like, oh, maybe I invited way too many people. So it's like, yeah, but it's. I definitely agree. No one's ever going to be pot committed as the head, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you envision for your company?
What do I envision? Well, I mean, the first thing I envisioned when I made grits, like I made grits with one goal. The one goal I had for myself was win vibe. That's the first, and that's whenever somebody says like, what do you want to do with grits? That's the first thing that comes to mind. I want to win vibe. That's why I created grits. That's how it all started. Every competition we do, every practice that we run, it's all working towards winning vibe.
Wow, nice. Yeah. What do you call it? When I first started Fanbiz, it was because I saw us that we can be the same. Back then there was only 3 big teams or 4. It was Kaba, Pac, and Team Millennia. And then I wanted us to be that
all good teams, good teams.
Like the big 3 of that time. Yeah, and then I imagined us being at the same stage. My goal was us to compete at that same level. What goes into mind when you're developing the routines for your team?
What goes into my mind when I'm developing? I mean, a lot of it is because I'm not really a guy who likes to make choreo or performances that have meanings. I'm not a big hit him with the slow songs kind of thing. I like to have fun when I dance because it's dance. It's meant to have fun. So a lot of the times I'm trying to have the audience have a good time with us while we have a good time with them. I would say that if I was to put down my style in one category, it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
We're not so much I don't really try to send a message. I don't really try to inspire. I'm just trying to whoa, that's cool. Oh, snap. Hey, that's dope. Oh, wow.
What do you think are the common misconceptions about starting a crew?
About starting a crew?
Yeah.
That everybody that says they want to do it is going to be there.
True.
Let's see. What is it about? I don't know. Not a lot of people make crews. So.
Oh, dude, there's definitely a lot more crews now than there was when I started.
Oh, actually, that's true. I would say, yeah, that is very true. Because you said you had a top 3. I would say in the dance community, there's a top. I don't even know. There's
certainly a lot now.
There's a lot. Actually, it's not even about that. I'll real quick before I get back to the question. Jay Chris, I was talking with Grits one day. Well, we hosted a class with him. Big shout out to him for doing that. He always talked about how like every team, like whether you've won every single performance you've been in, or this is your first one, every team just needs that one performance to just set them off, and every team that has been up there just needs that one performance to take them back down here. So that's why like hell, I feel like nowadays there's not even a top.
No, I feel like it's really just like
anybody's game.
Anybody's game. Like for a while, for me, from what like aside from the big three I mentioned, like for a while it was a battle between Pac Modern and Kaba Modern, because those are beast.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, like
beast times. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go off of this because I've been talking to I tell Rosie this all the time. I kind of wish I was back in the day. I was in back in the day. Because I've seen these documentaries with like Rennie Harris. I hear Rennie Harris talk. Thank you, best stuff for those. Those are insane. I've seen all these of Flowmaster. Flowmaster's another one, dude. And the way they talk, Flowmaster talked about how like he would just save up during the week, take a subway to, I think he said like New York or some shit, and just battle whoever the fuck he sees. And I'm like, dude, that's what's up right there. And like Rennie would talk about how, after every single performance, take note, this is a performance in like a big venue, right? There's an official performance, tickets, everything, it's way like out of the battle scene. And then people will be there at the show like, man, y'all might be doing that stuff on stage, but y'all can't get down. And then like they would battle and stuff. And then I'm like, dude, like that's crazy. Like that's where it's at right there. Like if somebody says you suck, you show them why you don't suck, and then whoever loses.
Yeah.
But like, and the thing was just like it was a battle because it's you showing you're better than this person.
Mm-hmm.
But like nowadays, it's cool showing respect. You guys bet. Like I see some disrespectful shit, and then at the end of the day, it's just like. Hey, good stuff, man. Good stuff, But it's like, nah, son. Tell him his mama ain't shit.
You want like kind of? I remember like, I really like the. You talking about like the kind of shit?
Oh, that's like that kind of stuff. Name the day, and then
that was more like I think glorified and really nice because they had a venue. I remember like when
tell them Emeroy, tell them some history.
I'm not like compared to the OGs, so to speak, and the pioneers, and I'd say the old heads respectfully. Like I feel like the advantage of the youth is that they have access to YouTube and they can see all this other stuff and learn that way. I remember learning from Crumbs like this one crew. Because I don't know if you heard of the crew Style Elements. Style Elements, one of my favorite to this day, B-Boy crew. Creative as fuck. Check out B-Boy Remind and Crumbs. Oh, legends. Like, their styles are unique. And I'm pretty sure you might recognize Crumbs. Like if you watched You Got Served. Have you seen that? You Got Served? Ooh, that's a dance.
Dude, like I said, man, I didn't really venture into dance as I was a kid, so no step-up movies.
Okay. So
none of that stuff.
Okay, so those guys, what they would used to do is that they would have to search for these hidden mixtapes of like other crews. Like they battled a housing crew called Housing Authority, but they didn't know about them until until they discovered this one VHS tape somehow. Whereas now it's like you can just look up any crew and like kind of learn and study their moves and be ready to respond. And when I was younger, there's a rival crew from my crew. Like I was in Glendale, they were in Eagle Rock. I think the other crew was clearly better, but we we just had a chip on our shoulder. Like, yeah, we're B-boys. Yeah, we won't battle and all that shit.
Young Emeroy.
And then and I think we God, I think my crew leader was kind of like, no, I don't remember how the beef started, to be honest. I think it's probably because my crew leader was talking shit, or they were talking shit to each other, or someone on the other side was talking shit, like saying we were whack. Somehow it always goes like, "You're whack, son," but whatever. And then we battled. We met up at a park and we battled there.
Yeah, so
So
see,
like with a fucking
that's what's up.
boombox, no crowd. We filmed it, kind of like how skaters would film their skate shit, but like, yeah, this was like raw. No one was watching, no crowd. Another one was J. Chris and another friend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this
you
story.
tell me those J Chris. I love the J Chris ones because it's like hey, you want to battle?
Yeah, they J. Chris and JP and another guy, another dancer named Troy. They called us like
Damn.
to. His name's Troy Austria. They hit me up. They hit Mark up, I think around 2 a.m. I know it was late, and they just hit up like, "Hey, you guys want to battle? Like OC versus Glendale." So we're like, "Fuck it."
Straight
So
to it, man. Straight
yeah,
to it.
so like, and it was super late. We had a boombox. Some security dude was just watching us, and we were at this park called Chess Park. Then that's where I think the crump scene at that time. I think this was 2006, 7, or 8. That's where I think the crump scene was big at. But I remember like there would be late night Friday night sessions at Chess Park, and that's where the crumpers would be at. But I never been. These are just stories I heard. But yeah, at Chess Park, that's where we battled. It was like a mixture of all different styles. I was breaking and locking, and Jay Chris was just straight up freestyling. And this was like my first time, like battling Jay Chris, because I think at that time, I mean, I think he had a pretty well developed reputation, and so I was intimidated when I first battled him, and I was like, fuck. And because like I let that get to my head where I got intimidated, but that was a fun night. Like, yeah, just randomly battling, just calling us. It was fun. Like I remember another. Sorry, I'm going into stories now.
No,
It's not
you're
even
good,
about
dog.
Diego anymore. But
I don't
like
care. I don't
another.
care.
For those of you guys who know Jet Li, the
Ooh,
popper,
a Jet Li story.
and I don't know if you guys have heard of Mr. Fantastic. So he auditioned.
I missed me with that one.
So he auditioned for So You Thinking Dance back in the day. Look him up. I'm pretty sure you'll find him. He's like super flexible and all that. Yeah, they used to be in a crew called Tang Clang, and I forgot. I don't know why the reason was that, but Jet Li had a different name back then. I think it was Just Bust, or I think it was still Jet, but I'm not. And Mr. Fantastic was called Toxic. The stories I loved hearing about them was that there was a very similar story to Flowmaster. They would go to different school dances, take the bus, go to different school dances to battle the best dancers in their school.
I'm hoping you mean like as kids.
As kids, yeah.
Oh,
They're
okay.
all high schoolers. These fucking adults, like, hey kid.
What's up? I
Yeah,
actually thought
no,
he was good.
but they, yeah, as high schoolers, like it was them. There's a whole bunch of other people in their crew. Ness, Z soldiers, like these are the people. They're AKs.
Nas, I know Nas.
Yeah, so like they would all battle, go to high schools and then battle. Ness is now known for the perverted Deadpool. So that goes
The perverted Deadpool.
Yeah, so it's one of he got viral because he cosplays. He got viral because he was like the perverted Deadpool. It was all like kind of
Ness from Mighty Zulu Kings?
No, that's a different Ness. No, are you talking about are you talking about Alien Ness?
Oh, yeah. Who are you talking about?
So Ness is it was a b-boy from Rock. So there's Alien Ness, which is like one of the Bronx boys that like that wrote the battle blueprint or something like that. But
Okay, that sounds a little more like okay.
No, like I was super inspired with Foundation with him. But yeah, my first ever official, it's not even official, like kind of community battle was at the Salvation Army, huge like nice little venue. It was a crump event. But that back then it was like my first. I didn't know like the distinct styles. Like at that time, Jet Li was doing crump and he was popping and he was locking. He was part of Culture Shock back then. Then yeah, Jet Li was the popping captain in Culture Shock. So
I didn't know that. Look at that, some history on this podcast.
Yeah, so my first battle was like it was they lined us up like 4 guys here, 4 guys here. You throw down your round, then you pick your opponent.
You choose who dies.
and then I was like, and Jet already had a reputation. People knew who he was. I was a nobody because like my first probably was my second battle, and I knew who Jet was, and I was like him. I was so starstruck. And then the thing that sucks, I don't think anyone would ever do this at a battle today, but the MC, the crowd, and the people around me were like, it's over! I'm like, what the fuck is happening? A Jet clowned on me so hard. I'm like, this is like traumatizing. I need to work on my skills.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that was like the only event I've ever been where everyone was against you. But that was like
Oh my god. This was your first event too,
yeah,
huh?
this is like 2004. Yeah, people would have like battles in their garages. Like people would drive from Carson in the valley, like and meet up. I remember this. It was a supposed kickback, but it was actually a fucking intense crump battle between people from all different cities in this fucking garage. Disgusting, humid, but fucking raw. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna battle too. But I'm like, but then again, I'm in the wrong scene because it's like I'm trying to pop because my first style was popping, but I was like not good at it. So and then these other crump dancers or crumpers were just fucking wailing on me and my friends who, like me and my like two other founders from Fanbiz, like me and another founder froze up after our round. Another founder, Mark from Fanbiz, had to fucking carry us for like they kept going. Mark kept going. I was like, I don't know what to fucking do. I choked, and I think they called it out too. Like they're choking. It's like this is these crowds are hostile, dude. They fucking like those. Dude,
I'd rather get told I sucked
like,
than
yeah,
get told
it
I was
was
good, and I did terrible.
like it got so rowdy to the point helicopters and cops had to come into like.
Oh snap! That's
Yeah.
what's up right there.
So it was because it wasn't a house party or anything, and like as far as I know, it was just like the only thing I remember was fucking battles every like rounds and rounds and rounds. This wasn't official. It was just like fucking a whole community set it up. Here's a place, battles. So yeah,
That's the shit I'm talking about, man. That shit's dope right
like
there.
yeah, I
You
feel
suck.
like
If you suck, you suck. I feel like if you suck, you should be told you suck.
yeah, a lot of people are like it's very a lot of battles are feel very official nowadays, and I feel like and very user friendly.
Hey, let me tell you how you know you guys suck. If you guys go to a dance competition and the judges put down you have potential, oh,
I think the I don't know how it is now, but when they would do judging, and one of the reasons I think Fanbase stopped doing style sections is because the judges who knew the style, they was like, because they're it's like it's dancers trying to lock, not lockers. So there's like, and not everyone's gonna have the groove down, not everyone's gonna have the technique down, which is why I think it makes sense why a lot of crews probably don't do styles anymore because they get judged pretty hard on it. Like for me, one of my friends, I shared this in a previous podcast, we'd be like 80, 90, 91, 60 because we did the technique on the locking was shit.
I remember you told us this when we were doing our All Styles performance for Maxed Out. And I don't know if I told you this, but do you remember who were the judges for Maxed Out? The last two judges that were announced totally last minute. It was Carrie and Paulette, the ones that run Carnival, right?
Wow. Okay, they're gonna be pretty strict.
Oh, dude, Carrie didn't even write any notes. He just put down numbers. Carrie didn't give a shit. Paulette, I have them here somewhere. But I remember when I saw like they were, because I don't know, something happened with the judges, but they posted those two. And I remember I saw the other judges and I'm like, all right, I feel like we got a pretty good chance. Nothing too crazy. And then they posted Carrie and Paulette and I'm like, all right, guys, we gotta get locking. We gotta practice our locking.
Holy shit. Yeah, whenever I see like a street judge who knows the street styles well, I feel like a lot of judges know the street styles well, but like the ones that are like have lived it, who know the foundations and like actually do the dance, they're so strict and like straight up front. I'm like, it's true, like there's
yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, if you know it, like don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah. So shit.
Carrie and Paulette.
I feel like they would judge hard.
Dude, I remember when we did the cruise with Liz and Carrie and Paulette taught a locking class before Liz's class on the cruise. And he was talking about how like he got taught. I forgot who it was, but I think his teacher was taught by like Don Campbell,
Oh, nice.
and all this stuff about how locking, like y'all, I'm gonna teach y'all locking and all this stuff. So then I remember everything he said. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna judge us. Oh, he's gonna whoop our ass with this locking piece. He's gonna give it to us good.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that's definitely one thing I experienced when I was learning locking with Culture Shock. The one was heavy in knowing your history, but two was like they drilled the shit out of us, like across the floors, knees, across the
Fuck those
floors.
knees, bro.
The
Those I need to see video of you guys doing those knees because man, that is unbelievable. You guys did those knees.
like we I forgot the official name of the move, but we had to. We're part of the requirement was to get your own knee pads.
That one makes sense.
So
That
like we
one
had,
makes sense.
so and then we had to all. But every crew. This was at the time Culture Shock back in 2008, 2009 was separate crews. This is just for you guys listening. So there was a breaking crew, locking crew, popping crew, and choreography crew. Or back then it was called commercial choreography. Before it was called urban dance. But I know there's a whole thing happening. Yeah, we talked about this in length already in the previous podcast. So
Oh,
listen to that.
yes, we have.
So, but yeah, there's definitely a lot. I mean, it's because when I see you and I see like that you're where you're building grits, I definitely for me it's I see it sounds stupid like a younger like fan biz like where we were like the where we were starting where we were doing different styles we're discovering our own self. So it's like I empathize the struggle or challenges you go through, but in my head I'm like in the end it's like it really builds up to something even though it
It
feels like a lot of nothing right
does.
now.
It does. It does. It does really feel like it feels like a lot of nothing, especially when styles is not an easy thing to implement and to find within dancers that want to do competitions.
Mm,
It's very hard to find dancers that have already dove into popping, locking house, that already have a handle on it, right? So teaching and having people come in and work with the team with these styles is easy. The hard part is keeping that, because obviously like there's stuff at a certain level I want to do, but it's hard when the progress keeps getting
yeah.
reset because new members come, old members leave,
Yep.
and that is probably the hardest part about this whole thing. But I know, because I've seen it, where I've seen people come from like not knowing a certain style to excelling at it, that if I do have the right people and I do have the right time, it's going to be amazing. You know?
When it comes to like when you're trying to get dancers into your crew or in auditions when you're auditioning people, what are the characteristics you look for in dancers?
Well, I would say that's it's a little hard because, well, I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say as far as my next looking towards dancers towards this next audition, the biggest thing would be is just with work ethic.
Mm,
It's cool that you've been dancing this long. It's cool that you've done all this, but this stuff that we're going to be diving into is not going to be fun. It's going to suck, you know. And it's just who's willing to take it and who's willing to push through and who's not. I've had a lot of people take the easy route, and I've seen a lot of people push. And the cool part is you can definitely tell who does what because it shows in practice.
mm.
You know,
Oh, that's true.
it
Uh,
definitely shows in practice.
and I think we had a fun conversation about having an artistic director and all that stuff, and bringing on a team in the first episode of the podcast. But actually, what was the decision making point where you realized you had to make a team?
I had to make.
Where you had to bring on like a board, so to speak.
There is a time period where I was missing a lot of rehearsals, and because I was the only one that had the master plan, or like the only one like that had any idea what's going on or what's going to happen at rehearsal. I was like, well, I feel like I need to have like a backup just in case, because practices need to go on. You know, we only have so many. And so I would look into, and I saw like, all right, who has the most potential? Who's been at rehearsal? Who doesn't miss rehearsal? Who, you know, who has shown that they're there and they're in it to win it. And then I started with one director, you know, and then after a while, I realized like, okay, there's certain things I can't do. And one of those things is fashion and looking good and dressing a team. And every single one of my Grits members can tell you guys right now, I have a terrible sense of fashion. So that's when I kind of,
I can relate. I can relate.
and that's when I came to the realization of making the board team even bigger and adding artistic directors. Because my fashion, I have the same shirt in like 7 different colors, man. I have no fashion.
How was that? Like, what was the experience for you when you finally developed a team? Were you stressed when it was like, oh, can I trust them? Or was it like a weight off your shoulders, or what was the experience like finally having a team?
It was a big, I would say it was a big weight off my shoulders, because there's just some things that they were able to do that I wasn't able. One thing that made Grits very hard for me was the fact that I was running everything off the phone. I didn't really have a laptop, and we had a lot of drive videos and a lot of paperwork, and I had Jamie for that. Like Jamie really helped a lot with that. Jamie had her laptop. Jamie dealt with the drive. Jamie dealt with all the media stuff, right? So stuff like that would definitely help, because I didn't have to worry about the video. Jamie had the video. She airdrops it because she had the iPhone, right? Yeah, that's easy. She had access to the drive. She throws everything on the drive, you know. So it was definitely a lot of stress relieved. The same thing with Erica and Gabby. Erica and Gabby were my artistic directors, and they helped, you know, making Grits look good. And even when it came down to working on a sweater, like I thought I had a good grasp on making the sweater and designing the sweater. But holy hell, when I introduced the idea to Erica and Gabby, like I think it was Erica that had like a whole other, she had a whole another level of understanding how to make a sweater, and it looked so dope, you know? And I'm like, I would never have thought of that. I don't even know where you got that. I don't even know how to do that, you know? So
what is this witchcraft?
and even if I said like, hey, could this be like smaller, and could this be around here? And she's like, give me a second. And then minutes pass by, and then she sends me another one, and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? You know? Obviously, technology. I'm not a big technology person, so I know it's technology, but
the only technology that matters to us is video games.
Exactly. But no, yes, definitely bringing them along helped tremendously.
What do you like for dance? Because I know one of your goals ultimately is to, you know, win Vibe. Do you have any like aspirations to go industry?
I mean, I don't really see myself as being like a.
Like you sure as hell have the height.
Yo, I have the height. I ain't got the body yet. I got one big issue. It's called this gut. But as far as like choreographing for backup dancers, no, I don't think so. Being a backup dancer, who knows? Because I know a majority of that stuff is like they're looking for a certain look. So who knows?
They may be looking for someone long, tan.
You know what? The day that comes, I'm there. I'm there. But
in case you guys missed it, that was his Instagram handle.
That's right. 53 at the end. 53. So long 10 hands at 53.
He is the living embodiment of his Instagram handle.
I don't know about that. Because I don't know. Just touring would be cool. Touring would be a dope thing. But the thing is, I don't really have somewhat, because you know how people are like, who would you want to be a backup dancer for? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know anymore. You know, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I miss touring. Like, I don't know if you do know, but Liz and I were part of Antics, and we got to tour as dancers without backup dancing. We were the stars.
Oh yeah, you guys did such amazing stuff with that. Yeah, I was crazy jobs.
Essentially, like what I aspire for us to do, and I'm pretty sure. And I know there's plenty of other crews doing it already. We're killing it. Like Royal Family, they're touring with their own show. So it's like these are like, that type of stuff. Touring is something I would love for us as a group to experience, because I think if you think going to a competition with your crew is amazing, imagine going to another state or even country with the people you love dancing with. You know,
Bro.
hotels, a different city. Ooh,
Dude,
it's an adventure, dude.
when we did the cruise,
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
oh,
That's a good experience right there.
an unreal experience, man. I definitely would want to do something like that. Like if Chris was to do something like that, I don't think I don't know how we fit as far as like backup dancers, but shit, you want us to entertain, we'll entertain.
Yeah, you never know, because the thing is, like, these crews now are like their own brands. GRV's touring. They did some backup with BTS. Royal Family is like has their own brand, so it's like we don't necessarily have to go the traditional route of like, you know, going to auditions to make a name. If we're good enough, like if people are good enough, like we
But
make the name on social media. Yeah.
question to that though, okay, so you're talking about how like teams like GRV and all this stuff are like kind of because I actually yeah you're right. I saw a video my friend showed me with GRV members dancing for BTS and all that, and it's like, are they done being a dance team, and have they started being like an agency?
I don't know. I mean, I think Academy of Villains, they used to be compete, and I don't know if they still do, to be honest, but they have their own
I
shows
don't think
too.
so. I know they got
Yeah, I mean,
the
yeah.
universal thing going on.
So I mean, it's like it's almost like the next level in the career. So it's kind of hard to go back to when you weren't earning it. Like because once you the dollars start coming in, it makes sense to be able to do that, especially for with all the times in rehearsals, and you get to be the star, and audiences can, like outside of the dance community, get to see your work. So I mean, I think it would make sense to that people. I could see how it makes sense why people don't go back to competing, because it's like, it's doesn't necessarily pay your bills anymore if you have all these other opportunities. But who knows? I still know, like, I don't know about in regards to dance companies, but I do know b-boys who have been industry who still occasionally come back to and battle. So it's like, I guess I don't know. I almost feel like it's an alpha move in a sense, like to show like I still got it, son.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah! To leave a community, no matter what, like what Mike Tyson's doing is an alpha move. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, shit. I barely found that out the other day. I'm like, he's
Oh,
gonna box again? But this Mike Tyson's so like zenned out compared. So I'm really like excited to see how he performs, because
he
he's like a I feel like he's the warrior who became the a Zen master in a sense, who's calmed down, and now he has control of his mind. He can be like, I can be a much more effective fighter. I don't know. This is just like my speculation.
but the thing that made him Mike Tyson was his aggressiveness and his just I don't care type shit. That's how old
Yeah,
is he? He's 54.
yeah.
He's 54 and he's gonna get in the ring.
I feel like he probably has that still as a fighter. Because one of my favorite pieces of advice, it was like, you don't necessarily have to be aggressive to everyone. You just like learn how to use it, productively.
He's gonna pull off that Hulk stuff from Avengers, the keys
Yeah,
I'm always mad type stuff.
yeah. Because I feel like he in his younger days. I mean, being a young man and with all that money and all that fame, it's like it's easy to perform this kind of thing in front of people. But
Okay, but I don't know. Have you seen the last Rocky movie?
are you talking about the one where he's retired to and he's coming back?
Yeah.
That was a
Okay.
great one. That was a great
So
Rocky movie.
but did you also notice that he did become some kind of Zen? Like he was talking to his trainer. He's like, well, there's only one way you do it. You gotta outbeat him. You gotta outpunch him. So maybe Tyson's just fucking just straight up bulked and he's just coming in for that what? Because I mean, he might not have stamina. He might just be coming in for just one strong ass jaw breaking punch.
Yeah, I mean he's fucking beast, dude.
Dude,
So
I saw the video. It looks like he still hurts. It looks like he still can hurt
I feel like
terribly.
he's oh man, you looking at that footage doesn't look like he's aged. Like
Oh, not at all, dude. Not if it wasn't for the gray hairs in his beard, I don't think.
I think that's one thing I'm loving too, as like with technology improving, like the people we look at are old don't do things that are considered old. Like 30-year-olds when I was younger, they looked old. But 30-year-olds, I'm 30. But but 40-year-olds I still know like people in their late 30s or 40s that are still breaking. They look young. Like they're not like, finished, so to speak.
Mm.
So I feel like the social media world has definitely aged society down in a sense. Some partly in a good way.
You know what I like about popping? I mean, we're completely. I mean, kind of similar to what we're talking about, but it's like I feel like popping is really nice because who's the oldest breaker that you know that is still teaching and like competing and all that?
Competing
and teaching and all that.
I know. I know teaching is Po1.
How old are they?
He's one of the b-boys from the 80s, so maybe 40s.
The 40s,
so,
40s.
Maybe mid 40s. I could be wrong, but yeah.
But I feel like the cool part about popping is I feel like you could do it until you're old. You know,
I think that's what
you can do it until. Yeah, well, I feel like mainly because it takes the least. It's the least strenuous on your body. There we go. Because with breaking, you're hitting the floor, you're doing these flips, you're doing all this crazy stuff. Even locking, like you're doing the jumps, you're
knee drops,
all these points, knee drops, all this stuff. House probably kills your knees after a while. But with popping, it's a lot more your muscles than your joints. I would want to say, and I feel like if you just do it correctly and take care of your body, you could probably do that till you die, man.
Yeah,
you could teach that. You could teach that till you die.
Poppin' Taco, shit. Have you seen? I don't know if you've seen. If you know, I don't know if you.
I know Taco, but how old is he?
Definitely doesn't look. Yeah, fair.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I'd say he's at least in his 40s.
Let's find out.
But he's fucking
dude. He's 56.
He's so clean. Coco. I don't know if you know Coco is, but he was fuck. I forgot what movie he was in. He's an OG, an LA OG. His Greg, but Coco. He's one of the OGs in the LA area. He's still popping. He's also a client of mine, but he's still beast. Like when we talk, it's like there's a clear generational gap. But when he dances, he can clearly kick my ass. So like, I mean, yeah, he's still clean. Like, yeah. So that's the thing with breaking. Like as age starts hitting. Like you can't do certain moves as wild as you can do. Like I do
it like you used to.
Yeah, I have a coin drop suicide that I do a lot, and I know for sure I'm not gonna be able to do that forever because it slams the shit out of my back.
Dude, you're gonna give coin drop suicide a different like meaning. You keep doing that.
I do it at a performance. I never get up. Oh no, please, God, no.
Oh Lord, no.
God, would.
Oh Lord, no! You gotta switch it up.
Say it's like 30 years from now, like what do you imagine Grits has accomplished?
Everything. 30 years from now, dude, 30 years from now, like if I keep pushing and if I just don't stop, guaranteed everything that I've thought, like Grits will take care of it.
Yeah.
Like I 30 years is a long time.
True.
I haven't obviously.
I'm not even that old yet. I'm not even 30.
I'm not even 30. And it's like obviously Grits isn't where I want it to be now. It's been 3 years though, but in 3 years, like we've done a lot. We've done a good amount. At 30 years, knowing the stuff that I know now, and with the people that I'm surrounding myself with now, 30 years, shit, I could probably do what I want less than that. I don't need 30 years for that. I don't need to be 50 something for us to get everything done.
Yeah. Okay, 10 years. Let's lower it.
Okay.
What do you see?
10 years. How old am I? 25. 10 years.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Math.
Shit.
It's 10 years. 10 years. I mean, I feel like we'd be able to win by in 10 years if I keep up the way that I want to keep it up. I'm pretty sure we could win Vibe in 10 years. I've had the thought about opening a studio, but I don't think 10 years is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
As far as traveling to perform, I think we could do that in 10 years. I think we could definitely do that in 10 years. I feel like within the next couple of years, we could find somebody that really likes everything that we're doing as grits. What else could we do? When competitions. Oh, one thing that might take a while, because I've been seeing these videos of like 5-on-5 team battles, and those shits are dope because it's like one person will be dancing and they'll do like a small little like boom boom, and everybody behind them knows like it's about to go down, and they all like
it's a routine.
It's a routine, and I'm like, that shit is fucking dope. I wanna walk into like a fucking event like that with grits and just like.
Damn.
That seems like it's a lot of training. That's a lot of.
Or you gotta have people
that's
who
a lot
already
of dance.
done.
That's a lot of dancing with each other.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta dance a lot with other people to do shit like that.
Yeah, you can also have dancers who are already like hungry to battle. Yeah, like I remember towards my last year of fanbase, there were people that were actually like that wanted to go to jams and battle. So it was kind of refreshing because when I first started, I was it was just me and the founders that were just wanted to battle. Everyone else was like they wanted to do, it was for fun. They wanted to do performances and choreography and all that stuff. So I remember Culture Shock because it was because there were the crews. Battling was a normal thing. Like you would see people rocking the Culture Shock shirt entering jams. And it would be, there's poppers from Culture Shock repping here. Poppers from the breakers from Culture Shock were repping here. It was wild. It was crazy. And these guys weren't like, just the run of the mill, like whatever kind of like beginning b-boys. That these guys already had names. Like, was it Villain and Impact? Like they were the breaking captains. So, and then now they're in Kinjas and they fucking are killing it. Who else was there? Yeah, that's it. Like I know, there's a lot. I can just go into the whole point where it's just name dropping, but it's just to provide context of like the level of how good these b-boys were in Culture Shock, and I still think it's like, I think that and Versatiles is probably one of the best companies to be in regards to learning different styles, foundation, hip hop, everything. Because I feel like those are really like sister companies. They both value the same thing, represent a lot of the same thing.
I actually, I would say like I would have to owe a good amount. I would say I have to owe a good amount to Grits' growth to people who've helped us find these styles. Like Versatile definitely helped out Gene and Rosie. Definitely helped me out a lot. And then obviously you coming through helping us with locking, Liz coming through helping us with whack, Eddie coming through with whacking, Spidey coming in through with crump, Rosie coming in through with house. Who else we got? Damn, what else we get?
Yeah, Eddie I met Eddie back in the day with Culture Shock. Like
I didn't. Oh, I don't know what I should say. I didn't know people on Temper Tension like before we did that whole like, oh well, what team were you on? What team? Like I didn't know everybody was so old. I'm sorry if I offended you. I love you guys.
Wait, what? What?
Dude, I did because I knew you knew them. Right?
Yeah.
But like I didn't like when I don't know if you remember we were outside of practice and then everyone was like, hey, what team have you been on? What
was this? When we were at barbecue Buffalo Wild Wings?
No. This was past.
We were just chilling outside at the Pasadena studio.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then everyone was like going around and it was like, oh, I was a Culture Shock, and then I was in this, and I was in this. Oh, I was a cheerleader for this, and then I was in this, and that. And then like little by little, everyone's like dancing for like 10, 15 years and all that shit. They're all Culture Shock. They were on Mob. They were on this team, that team, this team, that team. And then I'm like, I was on Audio Mind, and I have a team called Goods and Gravy. How's it going, guys? I didn't know everybody was like on all these names. I didn't even know Eddie was on. What was it? What did you say?
Culture Shock.
Culture Shock. I didn't even know Eddie was on Culture Shock. So you told me right now.
Yeah, that's how him and I met, and fuck, it was definitely a different time. We were like, it was definitely because we were all both in college. It was definitely a party time. There would be a lot of parties at his place.
Oh, that Eddie.
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah,
sounds like a party guy.
yeah. It's a yeah. It was definitely a wild time, I would say. But yeah, like when I started, I think you were originally the youngest. Like you were what? Because remember at B Dubs, we were all talking about
Mm.
fucking housing, all this adult shit, and then and
I
then
was, I was on Tabasco's vibe. I was like, oh, who wants to get drunk?
and now like we brought some of the other ones, like we brought Rosie, brought like Jamie. They're like 21. So what I find interesting is like the huge age gap, because then I would say like the older dancers can then pass down the knowledge to the younger dancers, and I feel like through that, I feel like sharing the knowledge will expedite their ability to grow.
The knowledge about housing.
The knowledge about housing, yo, shit, that's like some shit that like might be beneficial later on.
You're gonna see me. Hey, hey, Emeroy. Remember when I was making fun of you guys about talking about housing at Buffalo Wild Wings? Yeah. Hey, I need some help.
Or fuck, that's Crystal's job. She knows how to flip houses. Dude, like there's so much like about with her. Like I know she was a dancer for a football team.
She said she knew. I don't know. Who it was.
I think it might
Was
have
it
been
Patriots?
Patriots. Was it the Patriots? I feel like it
I
because
feel,
she's
I feel
from
like
New
she said
England.
Patriots. I feel like she said, hey,
Yeah,
Crystal, if you're hearing this, let us know. Like
yeah.
random.
Was
Just
it
let us know.
is it Dallas Cowboys or was it the Patriots? I feel
I
like
feel like it's
it makes
Patriots.
sense because it's
Where's
she's from Boston or she's from Massachusetts.
I feel like it would be Patriots.
So I feel like that makes sense. So yeah, so I forget that she has the credit. Like, oh yeah, she's also danced for Red Bull and all this other stuff. So yeah, so wild.
Which, yeah,
uh,
I did a commercial for breast cancer awareness.
with Unity Era.
Oh yeah, you know it. You know it.
That was a fun campaign. I like that. That was a
Did
fun shoot day.
I know it was a great shoot day. That was a great experience. That was the first time I ever did anything like that. That was the first time I ever did anything where I could keep the clothes.
Oh yeah, that was a fun day. That was
Listen. If you guys, sometimes clothes is worth it. Yo, sometimes they gave us like a shirt, a sweater, a beanie, fucking sweats. Goodness gracious! But the sweats were the sweats were a little weird, and you can admit that.
yeah. I mean I still rock it. It's comfy, but it is the logo placement is a
This
little
is right on your crotch, bro. That's so
yeah.
weird.
So people can look at it, show off the unity.
Unity, bitch.
So, all right, so we're gonna start wrapping up right here. So we're gonna go into the rapid fire questions segment. Ask you 10 questions, and yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. If you were famous, what would you be famous for?
Oh, I hope it's my dancing.
It's not. I'm just kidding.
Uh,
What is the worst job you can have?
is it like for me?
Yeah.
I mean, the worst job I've ever had was working in a factory. Hated it. Same thing over and over again every day. Not for me.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go, and why?
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, I can't go anywhere right now. But if we take Corona out of this, I'd probably either go to New York just because I've always wanted to just go and visit,
Mm.
or probably Korea because the best Tekken players are over
And b-boys and dancers
there.
too.
Shit. Fuck it.
What do you call it? What new technology will transform the future?
What new technology will transform the future? Well, I think maybe we need less of it. I don't know. I mean, I always hear that the smartphone is as smart as its user. So if anything, it's probably going to be the phone.
Mm.
They keep packing in more and more things that you can do with it. So, or maybe the car, because the Tesla car is kind of self-drivable too. One of those two. One of those two. One of those two.
If you had $1 million, what would you do with it?
$1 million, I would. I've talked to. I mean, damn, it's usually the lottery, but $1 million. I asked myself this question with the lottery, but with $1 million, I'd give half of it to my parents. I'd give half a million. So I got 500. I'd give 100,000 to each of my brothers. I think, yeah, and then I would keep the rest. Yeah,
Yeah, well, you really thought about it.
yeah. No, it's usually the lottery, but a million is a lot less than what I would think. But yeah, no, actually, if I won the lottery, it'd be a little different. But $1 million, yeah.
What's your current favorite song while working out?
Current favorite song while working out: "Say What You Say" by Eminem and Dr. Dre from his current call album.
Oh, it's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What was the last movie you watched?
Oh, the last movie I watched was damn, actually no. The last movie I watched, I think it was Trouble. What is it? Rumble in the Bronx. I think that was the last movie I watched. I watched it at work. I'd have to check my receipts, but I think it was Rumble in the Bronx. If not Rumble in the Bronx, then I'll tell you right now, it was Inside Out.
Oh, that's a good one too.
One of those two. Well, I'm very bad with dates.
Two different.
different. Fuck sadness. Fuck sadness.
If you could choose your nickname, what would it be?
Long, tan, and handsome.
Ooh, stick with that.
Some people actually.
How did you get that? Actually, like for that Instagram handle. Like,
do you watch SpongeBob?
Not religiously.
Okay, there's an episode where Pearl, Mr. Krabs. Do you know Pearl?
Yes, I know who Pearl is.
She had a date for the dance, but I guess she doesn't have a date anymore, and the dude was referred to as long, tan, and handsome, but I mean he was just a fish. He looked like a nerd, right? And that's kind of just where it came from.
Oh.
There's look it up. It was a lot better.
Okay.
And then 53 was my football number in high school.
Oh, that makes sense.
And it's, I don't know, some people, from what I've told some people, they think it's my angel number because I see that shit everywhere. And actually, I told you about this when we were at the boba place, remember? My receipt number was 53.
No, I don't remember that. Was that with Rika and...
yeah, that was with Rika.
Richie too?
No, it was just me, you. It was just, remember when you did the dolphin dive in the boba shop?
Oh my God. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Okay. Shit. So, I mean, you just reminded me of something what we used to do for FanBiz. If you were on the team for 3 years, or I think 5, you earned a jersey with your number on it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I like that. That's cool.
Because I like the idea of retiring jerseys, but it was like, or at the time, like, I know Boogie Zone does this too. Not Boogie Zone. Breed does that. Or if you were on a team for a certain amount of time, you get a dog tag.
So that is dope. So like that is dope.
That's something I kind of want to bring back with Temper Tantrum. It's like if you're on the team for a certain amount of time, you earn your jersey.
Damn, I might do that with Grits. If you're in for 3 years, then punch you in the stomach.
Here you go.
Congratulations.
Forever bruise. What is... No. I just asked you that in terms of the song. What's your dream car?
My dream car, I remember back when I was a kid. I mean, I'm not a big car person, but there is one car that I saw and I was like, well, this is the only car that I know. So every time somebody asks me, what's your dream car? I say a Lamborghini Revento.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the only fucking car that I actually know that's not a Honda Civic 03.
Honda Civic 03. Okay. Where in your house is your favorite place to watch TV? Because since we can watch everything on the phone now, on the shitter.
I would say no, not on the shitter. You know what? It's actually my favorite place. I mean, it's not TV, but it's on my phone. But I watch Netflix. I watch like everything. You watch everything on the phone. Okay. So while I cook, I have a small little window, and I put my phone on the windowsill, and I'll watch my videos there. And that's probably my favorite time too, because no matter what, I'm watching something. I can lay down in bed, but I'm not gonna watch something in bed all the time. I can lay on my couch, but I'm not gonna wait. But like anytime I cook, like boom, there's something there. There's some. Yeah, I would say when I cook.
What is your favorite memory? This is the last rapid fire question.
Oh, that's hard. My favorite memory. I'm gonna go with the cruise I told you about earlier. Mm-hmm. The cruise, there was a moment where we had a lot of moments where we would get together, but the majority of the time we were just doing our own thing. But every time we were just together on that cruise and we took our photos and all that stuff, and it's just like damn, like this. There's a lot of people that laughed at me for wanting to be a dancer, and there's a lot of people that said like, you can't do it. There's a girl in middle school. I remember there was another person dancing at the talent show, and then like I was like, and then she was like, "Don't you laugh? You're never gonna become as." I'll tell you this right now. Her name was Ruby Acuna. Ruby Acuna. If you're watching this shit, tell Tiffany Salazar to come battle me. Shit.
The challenge has been thrown down.
But she's like, don't laugh. She's a better dancer than you ever will be. Well, let's find out. Ooh. But
Oh my God.
But like that's the thing. Like people have told me, like I had family members and everything. Like you're not gonna get anywhere now. That stuff. But it's like I was on a boat in the middle of nowhere, taking dance classes, chilling on a boat, dancing with friends on a boat. For like it felt surreal, and like that moment is like, you know what, I can do this easily.
Sick. All right, 2 more questions, not so rapid fire now. What do you imagine your 80-year-old self would tell you now?
I still have a lot to learn, but I feel like as far as my mindset goes, I feel like I have a pretty good head on my shoulders. I feel like I'm at that point that any year from now, if you asked me if you can go back in time and tell yourself something, what would it be? I feel like right now my answer would stay the same for the rest of my life, right? So I feel like my 80-year-old self would be like, just keep going. Like you're chilling. Like you're on the right path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna come to some struggles, but my 80-year self can't tell me how to come over those struggles. But I feel like he would tell me like, just keep going. Yeah. And then he would do some weird shit like lift his shirt up and be like, this is going to be all yours.
All right. Okay. Last question is, what do you want people to say about you when you're gone?
Whatever they want. I've learned that there's millions and millions and millions of versions of Emeroy, and there's millions and millions and millions of versions of me. Every single person that you meet has had a different interaction with you. They have a different perspective of you. They might have met you at work, which is not an Emeroy that you meet at the club, which is not an Emeroy you meet at rehearsal, which is not an Emeroy you meet at home. So, I mean, if I die and there's some people talking shit about me, then there's also going to be some people talking real good stuff about me. Like say what y'all want. Call me what you want. But you gotta call me champ because before I die, I'm gonna win a competition.
Call me champ.
Gotta call me champ. He was a dick, but he was a champ. Say what you want.
That's on your fucking grave.
Say what you want, but add champ at the end. That's it.
All right. So, where can people find you online to connect with you?
I have Facebook. I'm not on it a lot. I have Twitter, but I'm not on it. I have Snapchat, but I'm not on it. I have Instagram, and I'm on it. That's it. Long, tan, and handsome 5'3", one word. If you guys want to follow my team and see what we're up to, it's grits_n, like just the letter N, _gravy_, no vowels. Grits and gravy. So instead of spaces, it's underscores. And every once in a while, you'll see Emeroy pop up in that story.
Talking shit to your team.
And if you guys are on Xbox, Sergeant Nugget X and Sergeant Nugget X as well on Riot. Sergeant Nugget on you. Just hit me up on Instagram. I gotcha.
Fuck the social media. You're just on the game.
If you play Tekken 7, hit me up. If you guys play Dauntless, hit us up.
Hit us up. Join the crew on Awkward Tea Party Guild. I normally don't drop my gamer handles in here.
I do. I'll drop all that. Follow me on Twitch.
Oh yeah, Twitch too. I follow me on Twitch. We occasionally stream on there.
Wait, you Twitch?
Jordan. Yeah, I'm on Twitch with Jordan.
I thought you used it like another streaming.
I use Restream that streams to everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to find you on Twitch then.
So it's my handle's the same everywhere.
Emeroy B.
Yeah. Like it's not gonna be hard to find me ever, because I'm the only Emeroy I know. So
You know what? That's funny. You are the only Emeroy I know. Ah, wow.
I look it up, but there are other Emeroys. Like I know one of them was a priest. This is like one of those things I just Googled. I'm like, are there other me's?
How much did you dive into the fact that you found out he was a priest? Because you didn't just see a picture.
No, I just saw a picture. I quickly looked at the bio. I'm like, oh.
Well, so what if he was a stripper?
I wouldn't have known. Might be living in Florida. Because like there's like you can look up like someone like have you done that right? Where you put Florida man and on your birthday. Yeah, so it's like damn, you might find something there.
Florida man.
He's doing it right now.
Hold on. Wait, don't leave yet, Emeroy. Don't leave yet.
Okay. All right, folks. What he's doing right now is doing the whole Florida man challenge.
Let's see. April. You find yours too. April.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. April 21st. April 21st, 2019, a Florida man was arrested in the Tampa Bay area Tuesday after police said he pulled over an undercover detective while pretending to be an officer.
Wow.
While in his according to the other driver had to be an so he pulled over an undercover detective.
So
what a fucking idiot.
Here's mine. On September 23, 2018, a Florida man threw another Florida man off a bridge in Daytona Beach. And thanks to technology, we've got it on the police officer's body camera.
Oh my god, no, they did it. Did they
fucking
really have it?
Wild, yeah.
Hold on. What's today? August 6th?
Yes.
What's today? August is Florida man admits to 2.5 million in kickbacks. What do you mean kickbacks?
Not sure.
A Florida man has admitted taking 2.5 million in bribes.
Shit.
For companies seeking contracts to extract energy-saving projects in federal. That sounds like a smart Florida man. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, are you guys listening? We're just looking at Florida man shit now. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here.
All right.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you like it, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share with friends who you think might find this beneficial or entertaining or empowering, whatever you guys, whatever.
Empowering is not the word for this podcast. I think
there are some empowering moments, like little empowering nuggets.
Dude, you could make a montage of all the empowering moments and you'd have a 30-second clip.
Boom. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere, comment down below what your Florida man is with your birthday. Because I'm kind of curious now what's going to happen. But other than that, thanks for listening. Have an amazing day, week, night, month, 2020, 2021, 2023, whatever. If you're listening to this in the future and we're all still alive and the zombie apocalypse hasn't happened, have an amazing whatever that is, and we'll see you guys.
I hope we're doing good in the future.
Yeah, and see you next time. Peace.
Peace.